Jesse Marsch, no longer the manager of Leeds United. Who would have thought that on this day, when there's already so much amazing football news to be a part of, that we'd also get this as well. This comes on the back of Leeds losing yesterday to Nottingham Forest, and it is confirmed. Let me see how long ago this was confirmed. 13 minutes ago by Fabrizio Romano. And he says this: Jesse Marsch has just been sacked by Leeds United. Decision made after the recent negative results confirmed. The Leeds board are now working on a new head coach appointment. So many questions really that I've got to ask you guys in the comments. First one is, if you're Weston McKennie, how do you feel about this? Jesse Marsch has just grabbed you from the doldrums of Juventus to say, listen, you're starting for me every single week in the Premier League here at Leeds. We've got a little American contingent of Tyler Adams, McKennie, Aronton's there as well. And I think this is harsh on Marsch. If that's not the title for this video, I think it should be, because Leeds United have taken the decision this morning to sack Jesse Marsch. Now, Leeds fans in the comments, is this the right decision? How are you feeling about this? If you're asking me, obviously not a Leeds fan, but I would say that Jesse Marsch definitely deserved a little bit more time. There was obviously this Ted Lasso name that he's been branded with since he's come to English football, which I don't think has been fair. Just because he is American, maybe you shouldn't compare him to a fictional TV character who actually knows nothing about football. Clearly, this man is a footballing man. He's shown that in Europe as well. In the previous clubs he was at, like, was it Salzburg or Leipzig that he was at? He was definitely at one of them and did very well. He did well. That's why he got the Leeds job. Now, if you did give him to the end of the season, would the results have improved? I'm not too sure. You look at the players that they've got, they should be in a lot higher position than they are right now, Leeds. And let's not forget, this was a team just before the World Cup that beat Liverpool at Anfield under Jesse Marsch. Now, if you are the Leeds board, you're obviously looking around to see what names can come in now. I always feel harsh talking about replacing someone just 10, 15 minutes after they've been sacked. It's a very ruthless world that we live in, especially in the Premier League. But in terms of names that could replace him, let me know in the comments. Who do you want to see as the next Leeds manager? According to Paddy Power, we've already got some odds here already, and it looks like Bielsa, as returning to Leeds, could be the number one name that goes at the top of those odds lists. We've also seen Mauricio Pochettino recently linked in the last 10 minutes, Ralph Hasenhüttl as well, Ange Postecoglou, who is of course the Celtic manager right now. And this one interests me as well, Carlos Corberán. Now, if you're a Leeds fan, you'll remember the fact that this man was the assistant manager to Bielsa at Leeds in 2020. He then went to West Brom, where his team are flying in the Championship, and he also took Huddersfield Town to the playoffs. His stock is very high right now. A young, manager with similar elements to Bielsa in terms of his quirkiness, but also ensuring that his side is solid and hard to beat. Rafa Benitez, another name that's been linked already. He stands at 10-1 right now. Michael Carrick, the current Middlesbrough manager, could he be tempted to leave that product in the Championship at Middlesbrough, where he's taken them from 21st in the league to 3rd, by the way? Is he going to be tempted to move to Leeds as well as manager? There's so many names getting thrown about already, but it does look like Marcelo Bielsa is the name that is at the top of this list right now. I mean, let's not forget, most Leeds fans would love this appointment of him coming back. His murder ball style of play got Leeds into the Premier League. Let's not forget that. You know, he did very well to get Leeds back into the Premier League for the first time in 20-odd years. But it's unbelievable to see that he's been sacked already, and also unbelievable to see that already we're seeing Bielsa being linked back to the job. We also know that Bielsa went for the Everton job before they picked Sean Dyche. So would he want anything to do with the Premier League again, or has he got his sights set on something else a bit different? But as we've just learnt now, Jesse Marsch has now been relinquished from his role as Leeds United manager, and Fabrizio Romano was the first one to break that story. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this decision. Let's get into them now. It had to be right before the United games. FFS, says Asher, who is a United fan. We've also got a poll up for you. Is the sacking harsh on Marsch? So far, 72% of you think yes, and 28% of you say no. But Asher, the Manchester United fan, let's not forget, in the comments, is scared of that new manager bounce. If you look at Leeds' fixtures coming up, 2 games in a row against Manchester United. I'm not actually sure that that's happened before in the Premier League history. But as you can see, Leeds do play Manchester United away on Wednesday and then at home on Sunday at 2 o'clock. So those fans, we know that they don't like each other already, but those fans are going to go back to back in Manchester and Leeds this week. So, I mean, listen, do they manage to get a manager in before Wednesday at 8 o'clock? I mean, I don't have a watch on, but we've only got about less than 48 hours until that game happens. You would like to think that if they have made this decision today, then they would have already thought of a replacement maybe last night after the loss to Forest. But is that enough time for a new manager to come in and help the team out on Wednesday night? Or are they going to look to bring in that new manager with maybe a couple of days in training for the Sunday game? Let's not forget, a home game against Manchester United. If you're a Leeds fan, you're absolutely licking your lips at that prospect. And with the new manager, as we've seen with Sean Dyche at Everton beating Arsenal, is this new manager going to get that new manager bounce at home against Manchester United? Adam Lewis saying deserved. Very interesting for him to say that. Craig, the Leeds fan, this is who we want to hear from right now, says, great news. We've got the squad to stay up in the Prem. Now we need a proven manager to keep us up. This is harsh on Marsch, says Earth Extremities. Bad decision, says Winston. Harsh on Marsch, 2 wins in 17. Lol. Goodbye, says Craig, the Leeds fan. Big up to you. No, I don't need a new manager bounce ahead of our game, says another Manchester United fan. Pep to Leeds, says Ramo. We know Pep's a big fan of Bielsa, but could even Pep be at Manchester City by the end of the season after the news that's come out today? Huge erection. Why have I said that? Big up to you, though. I can hear the production laughing. Why have I've said it so clearly as well. To be honest, he's been poor, says Hugh. Middle name G, last name Rection. Big up to you. Leeds were playing good football, says Amar official. I'm a Manchester United fan, says Bad Boy, and I don't like Leeds at all. But he admits Marsch was a good manager, to be fair. Going down with Jesse, says Craig Forloff, talking about Leeds there. I mean, do Leeds now stay up? I mean, we obviously need to know who the manager is going to be, but is it a Bielsa comeback? And if it is a Bielsa comeback, Craig, let me know in the comments right now, Craig, as the Leeds fan, would you be happy with Bielsa coming back? And would they keep him up, or would he keep them up? Pochettino, Josh UFO saying, Ralph, Carlos, Rafa, Tuchel would be nice, saying Craig Forloff, the Leeds fan. Let's get Lampard to Leeds, says Haaland. I'm not too sure about that one as well. Lampard to Leeds, he's trying to start a little hashtag there. Yes, I was baited. Big up to everyone in the chat who is laughing right now. Nice guy, but needed to happen. Is that me for the reaction, or is that Marsch? I'm not too sure. As a Rangers fan, I hope they get Ange from Celtic. A very bitter Rangers fan there. Not happy with Celtic's domination right now in the league. I've been saying that they're doing everything right except the managerial appointment. If they get this right, they should be safe, says Jemmy. I don't know if Leeds fan realise how bad that squad is, says Cannon Fodder. Marsch would have kept them up. Steve Bruce to Leeds, says Dan T. He's a Newcastle fan. That might be a bit of irony there. Alan Kirbishley says when was the last time Alan Kirbishley was managing a club? What's he even up to these days? I remember he was obviously the manager at Charlton a long time ago, but Alan Kirbishley has not managed in football since 2008, people. So 15 years out the game. I don't think Alan Kirbishley is the man to keep them in the Prem. Tony Pew, he's meant to say Tony Pulis, but he said Tony Publius. Big up to you. Lex Luthor saying Alan Pardew inbound. Pep and Haaland to Leeds, says Johnny. I think Leeds have made a big mistake, says Jean Ren. I actually would agree. Well, time will tell. Time will tell if the right decision has been made. Of course it will. However, harsh on Marsch. That's the line I'm going with today. Ange to Leeds is a good shout. Aussies have done well for Leeds in the past. Yes, look at Mark Viduka, Harry Kewell. Has there been more? But they've probably been the two standout ones there. Klopp will need a job soon. He could go to Leeds. And the final votes from the poll are in, by the way. 70% of you think it's a harsh sacking on Jesse Marsch. 30% of you say no. There you go, people. Manager bounce against Manchester United, says Emperor Miguel. And Marsch was just an American Lampard, says Amit. Can you believe these comments coming in right now? Well, I think it's harsh. And again, let us know in the comments. The comments will still keep coming as long as DR Sports is on YouTube. You can guarantee that, even if we're not live, still keep the comments coming in, guys. It's a massive bit of news this today. And again, it's after what is probably the biggest piece of news in English football in the last few years this morning. And we did speak about that on the weekend roundup at length. So if you want to catch what me, Robbie, Matisse and Abby have said about that, head over to the last video that we did just over an hour ago. But just to round it up for you then now, Jesse Marsch has been sacked by Leeds United. Is it harsh? Is it fair? Let us know in the comments. Also, let us know right now who you want to see to succeed in. We've seen Bielsa linked already. We've seen the ex-Leeds manager linked already, and that is the name, just get that up for you again, Carlos Corberán, former Leeds coach, as we know, worked under Bielsa. Or could we see a little fusion between those two again at Leeds? Could we see Postecoglou there as well? Could we see Rafa Benitez, who does not have a job right now? As we know, Michael Carrick doing so well at Middlesbrough, could he end up there as well? But the name that most fans want to see back, if you're from a Leeds point of view, is Marcelo Bielsa. Does he bring that murder ball style of play back to Leeds? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe to DR Sports. We're on the pulse. We don't miss anything here, and we keep you up to date the whole way from Monday to Sunday throughout the whole week when it comes to Premier League football and European football as well. But we're reacting to this one now. Jesse Marsch sacked as Leeds manager. Is it harsh? Who do they bring in next? And will they get that new manager bounce playing against Manchester United this week? I've been AGT. This has been DR Sports. Take care. We'll see you soon.